Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, they mean always, you mean always, she means always, an instant classic.
Danny Dunn! Hi, Jake.
We'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another edition of Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And this is episode number 32 of the Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And through the rest of the month, well, this is going to be the last episode. I'm going to be doing my New Year's Revolution pay-per-view reviews because this is the last installment that they ever had, the New Year's Revolution pay-per-view, which is 2007 edition of the show. So, this show was held in Kansas City, Missouri at the Kemper Memorial Arena. I think I'm saying the arena right. And the attendance for the show was 10,000 and the buy rate was 220,000. But before we get started with this review, go follow me on all my social media platforms. Go follow me on Twitter at TheTrueJSB, and you can go follow me on Instagram. Instagram is the same thing, and that'll be down in the description below. And also, go subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, she means always, you mean always, we all mean always, an Instant Classic. And also, I'm sorry that I didn't do a review for the day one pay-per-view. I mean, if you want to hear my full thoughts on the show, you can go listen to it. I was on the T.A.G. podcast, TheAverageGamers podcast, which I'll put the link for that video down in the description if you want to hear my thoughts. And also, go subscribe to the T.A.G. podcast, the T.A.G. podcast. They do really good stuff over there. They do some gaming stuff over there. They also do some wrestling videos. They talk a lot about wrestling over there. So go give them a subscribe, because I do a little bit of videos with them. But, I mean, maybe I'll give my thoughts a little bit on that show. I mean, day one, it was an alright show. I mean, stuff would happen with Roman Reigns. That was unfortunate. But, we got a brand new world champion, Brock Lesnar, which was really surprising. I was surprised that came out of the show. But other than that, I mean, it was a decent show. Nothing like too crazy. I mean, it was alright. I mean, there were some things I didn't really care about, but yeah, I mean, day one was just a decent show. Nothing crazy. Okay? But yeah, if you want to hear my full thoughts on that, you can go check out that podcast, and there'll be my full thoughts on the show. But we're not talking about day one. We're going to be talking about New Year's Revolution 2007. So, the show kicked off with a steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship. We had Jeff Hardy defending the title against Johnny Nitro, a.k.a. John Morrison. He goes under, multiple different names in WWE, and other indie promotions. But, I thought this was a really good opener. And, I remember seeing this match, for the first time, back in 2009 on the Jeff Hardy My Life, My Rules documentary. And, I think John Morrison and Jeff Hardy, they really, at this time in WWE, they really had, a pretty good feud and stuff. They worked together great in the ring. And John Morrison, he got better throughout the years and stuff. He was getting better. And so these guys had really good chemistry in the ring together. I really enjoyed, the feud that they had, in 2007 and, the later part of 2006, that match that they had at, that tag team match between the Hardy Boys and Eminem, which I think that was a, really good match. But yeah, this was a decent opener here. We saw John Morrison or Johnny Nitro do some, pretty decent spots in the match. But Jeff Hardy would retain the IC Championship. When he was trying to go through the door, Melina was distracting the referee, trying to keep the referee from opening the door. And then Johnny Nitro, he was scaling the cage. And Jeff Hardy, he drop kicked the door, and John Morrison fell like right on top of the door and hurt his ding ding. Johnny Nitro hurt his ding ding, his grapefruits. He hurt his package, and he was sitting on top of the door, and Jeff Hardy went out through the cage door and retained his title. And like I said, decent match, nothing crazy. I mean, the crowd was, really behind Jeff Hardy, and yeah, it was an alright match. And then the next match we had they were saying it was a special attraction match. They had, it was a tag team turmoil match to determine the number one contenders for the World Tag Team Championships. And, of course, this was a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. And, of course, World Tag Team Championships were on Raw. And then the WWE Tag Team titles were on SmackDown. But the teams we had in this match were Crime Time. Who else do we have in here? Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch. I'm trying to remember all these teams. Hold on, let me look. We had the Highlanders. We had Jim Duggan and Super Crazy. We had World's Greatest Tag Team. So first it was the Highlanders, Robbie and Rory, which I did not really remember much of this tag team, to be honest with you. I really did not know this tag team. Yeah, they were going up against the World's Greatest Tag Team at first. This match was really short. I like tag team terminals when it makes sense, but this didn't really make sense here. And the crowd really wasn't behind any of these teams here. I mean, the crowd was more behind Crime Time when they came out. Crime Time was a really hot team that went over. World's Greatest Tag Team, they were eliminating teams left and right. Because they eliminated the Highlanders. They eliminated Jim Duggan and Super Crazy. Let's see. And then World's Greatest Tag Team got eliminated by Lance K and Trevor Murdoch. And then the final team that came out was Crime Time. Which this match lasted 20 minutes. It's got quite a bit of time here. But Crime Time would end up winning this match. Like I said, it was a decent match. Nothing crazy. And there were some points where the fans were just sitting on their hands, not really cheering very much because they didn't really have any teams to cheer for except Crime Time. And then, like I said, the World's Greatest Tag Team, which are Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, which I'm happy that they, brought them together as a tag team again because, they weren't really doing much with their careers at that point in time in WWE. But yeah, Crime Time would end up winning this match here. But they would never, get the title shot because they had the whole thing with DX and Rated RKO going on. And, of course, Triple H got injured, so that halted everything with DX. And then they would pair up John Cena and Shawn Michaels, and John Cena would become tag team champions. So, it's kind of weird that they never really gave Crime Time the title match because I think that would have been a pretty good match to see Crime Time and Rated RKO. So, the continuity didn't really fit right there, that they didn't get the title shot that they deserved because, they said they were going to be getting title shots, but they never got it, which was kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it was an alright match, nothing crazy. And then the next match we had was Kenny Dykstra versus Ric Flair. He was part of the Spirit Squad, and then, he went down to OVW and got, a whole character rebranding. Which Kenny Dykstra won this match. I was really never a fan of Kenny Dykstra, but I do remember, when I was younger using Kenny Dykstra on the video games. But that's really all I remember about Kenny Dykstra. Playing him on SmackDown vs. Raw 07 and 08. Better than that, Kenny Dykstra, they didn't really do much with him. I mean, yeah, they let him get 3 wins over Ric Flair. Which, that's saying something, to get a rub from a legend like Ric Flair is saying something. But maybe the reason why he didn't get much of a rub is much of a, go very far with his career is maybe because he wasn't very good on the mic. But they could have put him with gave him a manager. But yeah, I feel like after this match he had with Ric Flair, he didn't really go anywhere. And then like in 2008 he got released. Which, the only guy, out of the Spirit Squad that, went on to doing something was Dolph Ziggler. But yeah, this match, I didn't really care about this match at all. And then the next match we had was the WWE Women's Championship match. We had Mickie James defend the title against Victoria. So this whole storyline, was going on. This whole storyline is basically like Victoria, she's having this list and like she's marking off different women's wrestlers each time, to earn her title match. So she beat Candice Michelle. Who else she beat? She beat Candice Michelle, Maria, and then she beat Mickie James on Raw, which was a non-title match, to basically earn this match. And then, early in the night, they had this backstage segment with, it was with Melina and Victoria saying, hey, if you help me win the title tonight, you'll be the first person to become you'll be the first number 4 contender. So, it was a decent match that Mickie James and Victoria doing. I don't think it was any better. It wasn't better than Trish Stratus and Lita matches. But, I mean, it was an alright match here. But we saw Melina try to help out Victoria, but that really kind of stopped when Maria and Candice Michelle came out and tried to even out the odds and help out Mickie James win this match. So Mickie James did end up retaining the title here by help of Maria and Candice Michelle. Like I said, nothing crazy. And yeah, that's about all of this match here, to be honest with you. I mean, it's nothing like a, bra and panties match, which I'm happy it wasn't a bra and panties match. Because this saw way too much of those matches. And then the next match we had was a tag team match for the World Tag Team Championships. We had the Rated RKO, Edge and Randy Orton, defending the titles against D-Generation X, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. This was a very, very good match. I enjoyed this match a lot. Very bloody. Very, had a lot of weapons in this match. This match ended in... This match ended in a no contest. Because, this feud was like so... so brutal and stuff. So deep and they had a lot of history with each other. With Rated RKO taking out Ric Flair, they wanted to get revenge on what happened. But no, this was a really good match here. But Triple H, he did end up getting hurt in this match. He tore his knee when or was it his MCL? I can't remember. But he tore his knee when he was going for a spine buster on Randy Orton. And, I gotta give it to Triple H. I mean, he continued this match, even fighting through all this pain he was going through with his knee. And it did not look very good at all. Like, he was suffering through the rest of this match. But, like I said, he continued this match. And we saw some pretty big spots in this match. We saw a pedigree on the announce table when Triple H did it on Edge. But by the way, that's when Triple H that's when Triple H's knee was still out. So I gotta give it to Triple H there. We saw an elbow drop onto the announce table onto Randy Orton from Shawn Michaels. That was a pretty good spot in the match. Like, basically everybody was bleeding this match. Everybody was bleeding. It was a crazy match. But like I said, this match ended up in a no contest. But no, this was a really fun match. And at the end, it showed DX kind of, standing strong and stuff, at the top of the stage, being the more dominant team here. So I really wasn't sure, like, if that was the way it was supposed to go, or if, like, DX was supposed to win the titles. Because if they were supposed to win titles, I'm pretty sure they would have put the titles onto D-Generation X. They wouldn't just change the scenario just because, or they wouldn't change the outcome of the match just because Triple H got injured. But yeah, who knows though. But like I said, this was a very good match. It's kind of fortunate that it ended in a no contest, because I hate when matches end in a no contest on a pay-per-view. But other than that, this was a good match though. And then the next match we had was Chris Masters versus Carlito, with Tori Wilson in the corner of Carlito. And basically the whole backline, the whole storyline behind this feud was Chris Masters putting the master lock on Tori Wilson, which nowadays in WWE, that would not go over at all. No, that would not go over at all. And Carlito came out to help out Tori Wilson. Yeah, that's basically the backline behind this feud. Yeah, this match was not good. I didn't really care about this match. Chris Masters won by a roll-up. Yeah, whatever match here. Next match here. We got is the main event for the WWE Championship. John Cena defending the title against Umaga. And at this time, Umaga was having his, he was still unbeaten at this point. This was a alright match here. I mean, John Cena at this point, he was on top of WWE for a couple years. And this was about the time that when they started doing the whole Super Cena and all that. I think he was getting ready to come, well, maybe it was during the summertime. He was coming out with the Marine later on that year. But I mean, it was a decent match. I mean, I didn't feel like John Cena needed to beat Umaga here, like end his undefeated streak. I mean, it's not like it killed off Umaga, but seriously, I mean, a lot of people get fed to Cena over the years, and Umaga was one of them. Because after this, Umaga didn't really go on to do much, and it kind of made him look weaker. I mean, he did have that match at Mania 23 against, the whole $1 million, match with Donald Trump and Vince McMahon, the Battle of the Billionaires. That's what I'm trying to think of. I mean, they had that, but other than that, there wasn't like Umaga didn't really do anything else. I mean, he got went to SmackDown later on, won the IC title a few times. But other than that, he was just like this in the mid card his whole entire career. And R.I.P. to Umaga. And he was actually pretty decent in the ring. And not the best workers, but like he was pretty decent. And he could move around pretty good for a big man. And like maybe because he has that Samoan lineage, and he likes to fly around like the rest of the Samoans do. Like the Usos, Roman Reigns. He's a Samoan, so Samoans like to fly around a lot. But yeah, I just didn't like the outcome of this match. With John Cena winning or like beating Umaga's undefeated streak here. I wasn't a fan of that. And the match ended up in a roll-up, so it was like it wasn't really a clean win. And of course, they would have their rematch at the 2007 Royal Rumble, which that was a really, really bloody match. Which I'll probably be reviewing that later on here in the future. That match, that John Cena and Umaga match from Rumble 07. But yeah, Cena would end up winning by a roll-up and to retain his WWE Championship. Like I said, decent match. This didn't really, the outcome was really predictable. This, like I said, this is when they started doing the whole Super Cena, and he was just on top forever, beating everybody left and right. But yeah, that was my New Year's Revolution 2007 review. If I had to go back and tell you a match to go check out, the WWE Tag Team match, you should definitely check out that match. The opener is good between Jeff Hardy and Johnny Nitro. And then the main event, you can go check out that. between John Cena and Umaga. Other than that, this show is like kind of meh. You know, like it's not the greatest, but like I said, it's not anything. It's not like the worst. But now all the New Year's Revolutions I watched, you know, because I reviewed all 3 of them. All of them I watched. I think the best one was 2006. That was probably the best New Year's Revolution out of all of them. Was the 06 New Year's Revolution, just for the fact that Edge cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. But yeah, that was my WWE New Year's Revolution 2007 Retro Review. If this is your first time ever checking out one of my videos, please smash that subscribe button. That really helped me out a whole lot. And go down in the description, you know, you can go check out the day 1 review. And go check out, you know, all my social media platforms where you can follow me. And, you know, hit me up on there, you know, if you want to see me do some more different retro reviews, which I'm going to start doing Royal Rumble reviews, which I don't know if I'm going to be doing all of them this year, but I'm going to do a few of them here. And maybe I might do some live reactions or like a watch along to a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So stay tuned for that. It might just be the Rumble match. Who knows? But yeah, go down in the comments. Like, tell me what type of videos or like what retro reviews you want to see or like different wrestling videos you want to see me do in the future here. But this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.